She's alive.
I am alive. Wow.
I did make her wear a name badge this morning.
Oh no, who are you? I
Yeah.
mean, I have to look down at myself and go, oh yeah, there I am.
Yes,
I know. It's been a little strange.
I know.
It's
I
been
know.
a
We
little
have
strange.
missed you, boss.
Well, thank you, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so thrilled to be back with all of you on Three Themes Live, where theme number 1 is something to smile about, theme number 2 is something to learn, and theme number 3 is something to discover. Let's go. Everyone, welcome back to Three Themes Live. I feel like I should say to myself, welcome back to Three Themes Live, but actually to all of us, because we took a little bit of a break, but we're back, and we are so thrilled to be back. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm happy to have 2 of my besties here with me as well. We've got Cheri and Allison. Hey, you two.
Hey.
Thanks for holding down the fort in so many ways.
We were laughing just a little bit that I forgot what thing 2 was yesterday, but you know.
I saw that and I chuckled because I know how that is.
I know.
Absolutely. I'll probably forget
and I said,
to go into the next
Common
theme.
Soul, we did Star Spangled Beauty,
Yeah.
I did all the things. It wasn't like I forgot how to be an employee. I forgot what thing 2 was.
Whatever, we went to lunch.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I saw that. That happened to be on my birthday. And
At your favorite place.
At my favorite place. And they send me this picture like, happy birthday, we're enjoying lunch, you know, in your honor.
We're so kind.
Fine.
We got pedicures, we had manicures,
Oh my
we
goodness.
yeah, we just
Well, I'm glad you treated yourself. Yes, good. And you know, I really had treated myself the last few weeks as well. For many of you who know, our daughter is out in Ohio. They just graduated and they're moving back out west, which I couldn't be more thrilled about. So we were there for a couple of weeks, helping not only with the move, but also just participating in all the end of the year stuff. You know, McKay's graduation, and then of course Jessica and Rachel decide they're going to run a half marathon. I mean, whose daughters are they?
I don't know,
Not
but they are my heroes is what they are. Daughters, heroes, whatever it is.
Oh my goodness, I enjoyed cheering them on from the sidelines. It was so much fun. And then straight after that, I was on a plane to Chicago for H&H, and I think many of you have been watching some of the videos that I've been posting from there. Oh my goodness, you two.
Looked like a good one.
I know.
It was
We were
such a good
so
show.
jealous a little bit. I
Yeah.
hope you packed your suitcase jam-packed full.
Yeah, slightly. Yes, absolutely. I mean, the ideas that I'm coming back with, I told these guys, be scared. Be scared because they're so good. We're going to be staying very, very busy.
I
in the
said,
next
if it's
little
hard
while.
work, I'm not scared. If you said be scared because you're coming back, I don't know.
No, definitely not. So many good things are in the works for all of us here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, which means for all of you too. We've got some really great things on the horizon.
She said be scared 2 times, and do you know what came out of it? Tug and galas.
Oh, that's true.
Those were the last 2 times she said be scared.
Well, what could be next? I don't know. You just never, ever know. But, you know, it was interesting because yesterday I had an opportunity. I was watching from the plane Three Themes Live, okay? Which was so cool to be able to do that. And
I bet your seatmates loved it.
yes, my seatmates loved it. And, you know, it was so great. You guys did such a good job. And I absolutely loved the guest who was on, Liz Powell.
Yes.
Okay? And she talked a lot about more so the feelings of home, right? And how we can incorporate some of our heritage and some of those things into our homes. But as I was on the plane and I was thinking about the last 3 weeks, I thought, gosh, I've been gone an awful lot. I've been away from my home, right? And it definitely, I mean, I know this may sound a little cheesy, but really home is more of a feeling than anything else. And so even though I was in Ohio for a couple of weeks and I was in Chicago for a couple of weeks, I was always surrounded by family. And so for me, that felt still like home.
Yes.
You know, and so I think that's, as we go into this new month of talking about Stitch Your Story, it doesn't have to be a physical location, but sometimes home can be a feeling, right?
Right. I think more often than not, home is a feeling, or how you feel in your home. And you know, Kris, we talked just a little bit, but I want to touch that some people have struggled with Stitch Your Story because it's not bringing up fond memories.
True.
Fond memories.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I know we're sending Kyle to get some training, and she was going to be there. But Kyle, I hope she doesn't mind sharing. But Kyle didn't have the greatest of upbringings.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that there aren't fun memories that of your past or of now or of your future.
Exactly.
And so I think, and one of the things I really loved about Liz is she's like, curate a little spot to honor those memories, and that is what makes it home. Did you love when she talked about that couple that didn't want anything?
Yes.
And the thing that she said resonated me is she's like, they kind of are losing their soul of their home because they're not bringing any of those memories.
That stood out to me, the soul of the home.
Yes.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not going to lie. I did really enjoy my own bed last night with my own
shower.
pillow.
I think I love my shower more than my bed. Yes.
So true. So true. So anyway, that's what we're talking about this week is, you know, the feelings of home and how we can incorporate that into our quilt blocks. Whether you're doing Stitch Your Story or not, you know what? This is a good time to be tuning in and really thinking about some of those memories, but also learning new techniques, which you're going to show us today,
I am going to
Cheri.
show you guys that.
Oh,
And I
my
am so
goodness.
excited because I've been doing a lot of learning. And the thing that I've learned is that ain't going to learn itself. And
I like that, yes.
You have to put some work in, and you have to put some practice in, and you have to kind of play with the buttons and see how things. I did get my new long arm. It's set up, and it's the same way. I keep looking at it.
Gonna learn itself.
I know. And so, you know, I think sometimes we just are like, oh, I'm not going to do it because I don't know everything.
Okay.
So,
well, if you've got an idea of what she might be showing, she may just be showing us something on the machine. I can't wait. It really is just some super cool stuff. You're going to love it, and even more so, you're going to love the story behind it. Cannot wait to see Cheri at the machine. She's going to show us exactly what she's talking about for theme number 2, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey friends, it's been another incredible week on 3 Things Live. Monday, we learned how to make our own storage cubes.
My goodness.
Isn't that really fun?
I love it.
Tuesday, we learned how to clean our cutting mats and irons.
You can just see it coming off.
Wednesday, we had Jen Belknap from Jen Belknap Design House teach us how to make her new and exclusive Liberty patchwork pillow. And she showed us 3 more new must-have quilts.
That's wonderful.
Block at a time.
Yes. If you haven't been watching live, discover how much fun it is to spend time with your girlfriends at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch up on this and so much more by clicking the links below. Remember, 3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile, something to learn, and something to discover. Let's go.
hi, Allison.
Hi, Cheri. Welcome back to 3 Things Live. We are here on the set. I'm Allison.
And I'm Cheri.
And we have some really fun things to show you that Cheri has been teaching herself, actually.
I have been.
I know, and she's been doing it just by pushing a few buttons.
I have been, and it's been so much fun to kind of test my knowledge a little
Okay.
bit. So first of all, let me talk about my block that I did. I grew up in the same home the whole time. Like,
Wow.
From the time came home in my Christmas stocking until I left when I graduated.
You came home in a Christmas stocking?
Yeah, I did.
That explains a lot.
It does. So I've been in the same home, maybe some of the same furniture, all of that, but and it's a house that my dad built. But I remember in elementary school when everyone was drawing their home, and that first realization of my house didn't look like a house because I didn't have the pointy roof on top.
Oh.
I just had a flat roof. So it was just a rectangle. So as I thought about this block, I thought, I still have a rectangle house.
Yes, you do. Yes. It is two-story, though.
Yes. And so I was like, you know what? And I thought about this one a lot because I'm like, okay, that's not going to be a great block. But as I thought about it, I'm like, to me, that's not my home.
Okay.
I mean, yes, it is physically my home or whatever, but it's not the feelings that I remember and that were the best feelings in my home growing up and as my home with my kids. And so I was like, what kind of describes that home? And so I went back to what we had, and it was our patio. And my dad always used to say, grab a Coke and a cookie, it's patio time. And that meant it was time to sit down and relax, the work was done, and it was just time to talk.
Oh,
and
I
so
love that.
I love that. And I'm like,
And it was outside.
it was outside, and just before COVID, my husband, we had this great back cement area, but it was blazing hot sun. And just before COVID, he's like, let's cover this. And I said, okay, I don't need a new kitchen. Let's cover the patio. And it's the best decision I've made because we use that so much through COVID. Like it became our sanctuary. We did our work out there. We hosted dances for our kids. I've had a proposal out there. And
You had movie night?
I had movie night out there. And it actually is the last time that I saw my mother and my mother-in-law was at family functions on our patio. So, you know, and I'm like, that is very sad.
I don't need it.
It's a sad memory, but
Yes.
it's our living space.
Right.
So
and it's what home means to
it
you.
is what home, it is,
Yeah.
it's the heart of our home.
You know,
is
they
our
talk
patio.
about maybe sometimes it's kitchen tables
Yes.
that gather around, and yours is your patio.
Ours is our patio.
Do you know why I am so excited about this, Cheri?
Why?
Two reasons. Two reasons is, do you know what my husband is doing right now as we speak?
What's he doing?
Covering our patio.
Yes, you're
We,
gonna
for the
love
first
it.
time, are going to have a patio that's covered, and for Mother's Day, I ordered patio furniture.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
And I'm so excited for your block because I can see myself not just doing this, and we talked about your quilt blocks being your own. I'm stealing this because I can't wait for you to show this, because how fun is this going to be hanging in my new patio,
I'm like,
making memories.
Wouldn't this be a cute pillow?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at this. So first of all, this is another little part of the story. As I set this up, my mom always wanted pink flowers.
Okay.
And so she just loved the pink flowers. My dad wanted the red flowers because he wanted the hummingbirds to come.
Red's my favorite,
And-
so I'm with your dad.
Like a good husband, most of the time he would plant pink. And every year, a red one would just be a rogue flower. And like, we don't get rogue.
I love it.
We don't get rogue petunias in this area. They all die.
Right.
But we'd get this rogue red petunia, and he would not pull it up. No, you don't pull up flowers.
Do you think he snuck that in, or do you think that was the heavens saying, "Thank you for not being selfish"?
I think so. And
Yeah.
and so, like, even in my garden, a lot of times if I plant pink flowers, I will go get one red flower and plant it. So
Okay. Here we go. Cheri, I was doing so good.
So when
that's
yesterday
so sweet.
when she was talking about, you know, like bringing stuff into your home, it doesn't have to be something that's physical every year. Like the flowers are gonna die
Right.
and stuff like that, but it's still that memory that ties to me. My kids probably don't know what it means, but,
but you do.
that's why I have to share my story.
I love it.
Okay, so here's my block.
Okay.
And you can see that I have some little flowers here, and we did just learn a new technique Suzanne taught, but this is something I was like, I want to learn some stuff on IQ Designer.
Okay.
So we're gonna go over.
So we're with the Baby Luck Radiance,
Yep.
right?
But we're with the Altair, or you can do it on the
Oh,
Radiance,
sorry.
or the Solaris.
Wow, I'm home getting ready for my patio time, I guess.
She's got her Coke and her cookie.
Yes.
She's like, I am on
Did
that.
somebody say Coke and cookie and outside?
Yes. So we're going to look at this, and so we have our screen here, and this is IQ Designer, and so if we click into that, this is what it looks like. And it's a little bit intimidating, and when you look at it, it's like, I don't know what it does, and now I can cancel and go out.
Right.
And I do that a lot because I'm like, I don't know. And I decided I want to learn how to do some applique pieces. And I know that there's 5 parts to an applique. You're gonna do your placement line, then you're gonna put your fabric down, you're gonna do your tack down line, then you're gonna trim, and then you're gonna do your satin stitch or your outside stitch.
Okay.
That doesn't change. So
Regardless of which
yeah,
design software you're using,
Yeah, or
whether it's
whether-
in your machine or you're bringing it in.
yes, or whether you're sewing even,
Okay.
you kind of have the same steps. They may be a little bit different order, but you have the same steps. So we're gonna go here, and we need a shape. And I was like, okay, I'm just learning. I'm just gonna use their shapes to make it a little bit easier, but I knew I wanted flowers. So I came into here, and we have a little shape button. So I click on that, and I'm like, oh, well, there's this flower, and there's this flower here. And then I remembered there's another button up here that is this one right here, and this is gonna give us some more closed shapes. This is gonna give us some open shapes, and this is gonna give us some kind of combination shapes. So I went into the shapes, and oh, here's this flower right here. So there's a bunch of different flowers. I didn't want pieces, so I was like, okay, I'm liking that. I think I could do that. And I knew I wanted them to not be appliqued exactly down. I wanted them to be able to be moved. So I chose this flower, and it will pull it in, and there's my flower.
Perfect.
Okay, so I've got a flower, and now when I click on it, and I click on the size, I can see the size up here. So this is about a 6.5 inch flower.
Which is really quite big when we've got a 12.5 inch block.
But if I was wanting to maybe just do this with just the words Patio Time, like, okay, I can work with that. So, but I wanted it smaller. I knew I wanted a few flowers because I had to have the different colors. So I came into here, and this is going to move the whole flower in at once or make it bigger.
Right.
Or I can do them separately, either
Yes. Or you could
vertically
make
or
it
horizontally.
oblong or however.
So I'm gonna just click on this. There we go. Maybe, right? There it is. Okay. So you can see right there, it's making it smaller. And now we're at a 6 inch, and if you hold it down, we can just go. And we can make it whatever size we want.
So what size did you make your flowers?
I don't remember. I just was playing.
I'm gonna measure.
You're gonna be like,
You made them about 3 inches.
about 3 inches. Okay, so we'll go with about the same. There we have 3 inches exactly. Okay,
Perfect.
and so we've got that, and I'm just going to hit OK, and then I'm going to save it in my pocket because I don't want to have to do that every time. And so if I
And
come
you
down
wanted
here,
all of yours to be exactly
Yep.
the same.
So I'm going to move it in here, move it into my pocket on my sewing machine. So
Okay.
that's where it's going to save it. You could save it on a USB, but we're just going to save it here on the machine. And then I need to do my 5 steps. So I need a tack down, or I need a placement, a tack down, stitch. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to come up. These are my line properties in this area. So I'm going to click on this.
So the line properties are the one with the line underneath them.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't have the line underneath, so there's a pencil without a line underneath and a pencil with the line underneath.
So, and if I look here, I have some different stitches that I can use. This is a zigzag. This is going to be a double line, a triple line, and then there's some
And the
decorative stitches. So
whipping,
we're
yeah.
just going to go with the basic. It's going to do it twice. And I'm going to change the color because I want to see like, hey, this is what step I'm on. So I'm going to change this one. Let's change this one to red. And then I hit OK. And then I have to tell it now like, hey, I've chose my stitch. So let's come up to the bucket that's by the line stuff. And then I'm just going to click on my flower, and it goes red.
Right, and
Okay.
that's how you know.
That's how we
That's why it's
know.
a great idea to change your color.
Yes, yes, because then you kind of know where you are, and when you get to all of the stitches, you're able to see that. So I want to save it to my pocket again.
Right.
So I'm just going to save it to my pocket, save it on the sewing machine, and I'm going to hit next. And that is going to show me, I have a chance to preview it. I can look at it, preview. There it is, and I hit set. It's going to convert it into an embroidery pattern, and I'm going to hit OK. So now this is where I would stitch it out.
Right.
But I only have 1 step.
And you need 5.
I need 5. So this would stitch, and then I would do my second by laying the fabric down. So I need to add another one. So I'm going to come here, go to IQ Designer again, and I'm going to pull out of my pocket that same shape. So this is the one with the red. This is the original shape. So I'm going to click on that, because all I need to do on this one is change the color, just so I know. So
You're
I'm
so
gonna
smart.
hit.
I would have gone all the way into the design, added another one.
So I'm gonna go here. We're just gonna click on the stitch again, and I'm gonna change this one. We're gonna do the single stitch, and let's change it to yellow, just so we can see it. Hit OK. We're gonna fill that stitch again, and now my flower's yellow.
Right. Which
Okay.
doesn't show up.
Doesn't
We
show
should
up
have-
there.
We
We
should
should've-
have done blue, but
Well, we have one. Okay, let's do blue. We can come here. We can do blue. Single stitch. Okay. And fill. There's the blue.
perfect.
Okay. So we hit next. We see the preview of it. It's not gonna save it. So we're gonna hit OK. And it's going to bring it into into our embroidery screen. And you can see now I have a red one and a blue one.
That's brilliant, Cheri.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yep.
Okay, now the next one is, I would do these, I would do one, put my fabric down, do the next one, trim my fabric, so I have 4 of the steps done. So the
Now
last
we need
step
the satin stitch.
is our satin stitch. So we are gonna add another one. We are gonna come back into IQ Designer, and we're gonna start with that same shape. So we're gonna come in, grab it out of our pocket. It's the black one, because we've
Okay.
changed the other one. And we're gonna hit set, and we're gonna come into the stitches right there, and this time we want a satin stitch.
Right.
So we're gonna leave it there.
Let's do green.
Let's do green.
My favorite part, choosing the colors.
She's like, the whole rainbow's there. So we've got green, and then we need to fill it. And we've got it. So if we come here to the next and we look at the preview, we can see it.
It actually shows
It
those
actually
little
will show
satin
it, yeah.
stitches.
So you can see it right there. But what's also nice is we're gonna go back, because right here you have a little bit of an option to change your satin stitch.
So it's wider or
Yep,
skinnier?
so this is a little bit wider. We can make it a little bit wider, or we can make it however you want it. And so you hit set, and you're able to preview that again. And there it
Oh,
is.
beautiful.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're able to set that. You hit OK. Oh, we didn't save it. It's all right. You would want to save it just in
Yes.
case.
Always save,
Always
because
save.
you can always delete.
Yes, yes. But it's pretty easy to go back in, especially if you save that original shape.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've got these, and if I click on this, you would see all 3. So let's just pull this off of there. You can see there's the blue, and there's the red.
Right.
Okay, so
But
they're all
obviously
layered.
they're layered because we're going to do all 5 steps.
Yep. So I'm going to undo those 2 so they're all layered right exactly on top of each other. Now here's a little trick that took me a minute to figure out. If I click on this, I can select all, and now I can move this.
I know where you're going with this.
Okay. So, hang on. Whoops. Okay. And now we can edit and we can move.
Now you can do
Now
a
we
couple
can
in your
move.
hoop.
Yes. So now I can take my big hoop. I can go here. I can copy it, and then whoops, and then move it again. So now I would have multiple layers and be able to do that. And that one didn't stay together. So I probably would just undo it and go back.
Right.
I hit the wrong button. So come
Those
back.
cameras get in the way.
They do. They do. Okay, so that's what you would just do, is just as soon
Now,
as you
if
hit
you're
it.
nervous like me, you just use a 4x4 hoop, and you
Yes.
would just do it one after
Yes.
the other,
Yeah.
after the other.
Yep. And so with this, I was able to, I did all 6 in my largest hoop, and I did them on 2 pieces of wash away, and kind of I don't want to say it was like a patch, but a little bit. So I just put my fabric down. I put them so that the wrong sides of the fabric were together and just the right sides, the pretty sides were out. And I just stitched around it. And so that's what created my little flower. And then when I washed that stabilizer off with that little bit of starch in there, I just set them over my, my Hemingworth thread spool caps.
Now this would be really easy to do, and you can use that wash away stabilizer if you wanted to do this sewing. Just draw your shapes on there and then do exactly the same thing and use like a zigzag around the edge or another decorative stitch on your machine. And so I know that sometimes you're like, oh, I don't have an embroidery machine, or I don't have the digitizing function on the embroidery machine. That doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're showing you a really great technique to make these flowers, and you could do this just on your sewing machine.
Yeah. And the other thing that I did is I did all of the lettering and the circles in there to kind of like symbolize a wreath and just the circles of your family. And the first time I stitched it out, I just did a single line. So it's like, oh, I think I want that thicker. So it's like you can go back in, make your lines thicker, and that was also all done in IQ Designer.
Yeah. Now, if you were interested in IQ Designer, I am telling you what, Mike would love to hook you up. So be sure to call our customer care line and give Brennan and Lisa or email them and just say, hey, I would really love a machine with IQ Designer on here. So there's also that option too.
It is. It makes it fun because it kind of puts you in control. Even if you don't know all the answers, you can learn some of them and you can make your own stuff. So it was really fun to play with and have that process
that was a
kind
really
of come
great
together.
technique to put this together, because I never dreamed of using IQ Designer to make one of my shapes. But I'm so excited to make this into a pillow or a wall hanging
on your new patio. I'm so excited for you.
Yes, we are pretty excited.
And I hope you have lots of Cokes and cookies.
Me, lots of Cokes.
And by Coke, it always meant Diet Coke.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yes.
I have both. Anything brown, come to my house. So thank you so much, Cheri. This was so fun. I am so glad that you showed us this, because I think IQ Designer is one of those scary things on our machines that we're like, I've pushed the button and that's as far as it's gone.
Yeah, you're not gonna, I did like a couple of different layouts where I'm like, nope, nope, nope. So just go play with it. Push the buttons. It doesn't even waste fabric.
Right.
And you can kind of see it and just be like, no, that's not what I was thinking, and I don't like how it's working out. But then it's like, play with it some more and find what's going to work
Because
for
what
you.
did you tell us?
It ain't going to learn itself.
It ain't going to learn itself. All right, perfect. Well, we are going to go back to set 3 and join Kris, because we have a really fun take on home in just a few minutes. Graph paper is kind of a must. So guess which letter I chose?
A for Allison.
No, K for Kris.
Oh, there we go.
I just created a K by deciding how big I wanted my quilt block to be, and then how many squares I wanted to represent. So what I did, Kris, on your K is I decided to do the 1 inches because I wanted it really scrappy.
Okay.
So I took your K here, and I just figured all of these, and I just started at my top. I did one row at a time so that I wasn't confused, and then I crossed it off. So let's look at this here. So here's my first one.
This could be kind of fun.
And here's your first block.
Yes.
Right there. Here's my second one, 1 inch square. Here's my second block. So I just stripped this right together, Kris. And if I added your next bottom to your K, there.
Look at that.
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, welcome back, friends. Wow, my mind is just reeling with all the different possibilities that you can do with IQ Designer. Thank you so much, Cheri, for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
And the fact that you can make your own applique on that, that's pretty darn cool.
That is really cool.
It is really fun.
Yeah. And so, again, as a reminder, what machines is IQ Designer found on?
The Altair or Altair 2, the Solaris, the Radiance.
Now the Radiance.
And
is
Meridian.
Yeah, it's
and
in Meridian.
too.
Yep.
Or if you have like a 10 needle, that would be as well. So, okay, so it's not something that every machine has, but sometimes it's nice to, just kind of get a peek into the things that, may be interesting for the future, to think about, oh, wow, I didn't know that there was a machine that could do that. So sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's nice to be introduced to some of those things. So thank you so much.
And I loved the thought of using the wash-away topping to make those appliques. And we have put those, the sticky back and the wash-away, not topping, wash-away stabilizer.
Yes.
Stabilizer. I told you I was going to do that. I'm like, Cheri, don't let me say that. Wash-away stabilizer is under new releases, so be sure to pick those up right now because we run out of those sometimes.
Absolutely.
So.
But if you need wash-away topping, you need it for Star Spangled Beauty.
There you
Just
go.
a little bit.
That is so true. Sandy is reminding us that also a Destiny has it as well. So yes. And Linda, thank you. She said that we've got such a creative team. We really do. There's so many people that, are always coming up with different ideas. So we love it. The interesting thing, as we talk about home and creativity, there are no bounds, including where we live, right? And so today for theme number 3, we thought we would just share a few different things that have touched us, as well as some of you out there who have sent some pictures in. We wanted to see some of the textiles, some of the arts, some of the quilts that have been found in other countries or other parts of the world, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple that you have sent in. This one is from our friend Erin.
I know, look how beautiful.
Wow,
Isn't that
these
fun?
are gorgeous. So this wall hanging is from Italy, and she's also got one from Ireland.
And knowing Erin, she is our fun redheaded friend, I would guess that this is a little bit of her heritage right there.
And don't you love the little pictures around
Yes.
it? I'm like, there's a story there. You just know it.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right on that. So thank you, Erin, for sending those in. And then we also have one from Kim Warner. So she sent this picture in of, wow, look at that beautiful
Isn't
quilt.
that sampler beautiful?
Yes, and I guess it's coming from 4 parts of the world. We've got Connecticut, Germany, Colorado, and Florida. And it sounds like she is actually from those areas.
Wow.
And so I think how wonderful. And so to have a quilt that represents all of those areas, that's pretty neat.
It's fun.
Yeah, really fun. And look at all the homes on there, the different types of homes.
Definitely. So, Allison, you brought something to share with us.
I did bring a couple of things, and these
Yeah.
are from different parts of the world. And both of these are from dear friends of mine that have given those to me that are from this. And so the first one is I have these 2 textiles from a friend of mine who is from Iran. Now, her story.
Gorgeous.
Her story is really heartbreaking because she actually came here with her husband to go to school, and they can never go home. So she is having to make the United States part of her home. So her mom would sneak these out, and she brought to share these with me. They were
So
actually hiding out in a basement. So these are from Iran and just really pretty. I
those
kind of guard this
fabrics
with
beautiful?
I know, they just are, absolutely. And then the second one is the top of a sari from India. And I want you to check out this hand beading on this. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm gonna show you guys because this is hand stitched.
Wow.
And so she brought me the full sari. I just brought the top. Yeah, I can't. Kris won't let me wear this to work. I don't know why.
Oh, yes, we will. She's gone next week, too.
So those are just some really
beautiful.
fun textiles and
Yes.
fabrics from around the world.
Like that stitching is amazing
touch
on
my,
that.
I know, isn't that so fun?
that
That
is
just kind of
so-
touch my home.
Oh, wow.
You know, when
So-
I travel to different places, one of the things that I also love is to really find the makers.
Yes. Yeah.
Find the makers who have also created, beautiful items for their homes, their families, and even so much for their livelihoods as well.
Yes.
So a few years ago, it was in 2019 that I had an opportunity to travel to Africa. And while I was there, I also, I met so many incredible women who were makers or who wanted to be makers. And so I was part of a small group of women who actually taught these women some sewing skills. And so it was incredible. And as the week ended with them, they actually put on a little market, if you will, and made these items. And this is a treasure. This is something I will always love and remember. And so this was all obviously hand stitched, and it says God is good, blessings from God. And the O is missing, but it said come and see. And so this is, just some applique that she cut out of felt, and the mother and child right there. And this was, how she added her borders, and it's all done by thick, big stitches. And, I got to tell you, when I was at their market, I probably bought about 25 of these. I couldn't just leave with just one.
They're so beautiful.
And they had created these, and these were all done by hand. I mean, this was not a mass market
Doesn't it
kind of
make
thing.
you so appreciate where we live and the home that
Absolutely,
we have?
yes.
And yet they're so appreciative and
Yes.
so happy to be in their home.
Yes, absolutely. And this is something that now hangs in my office as a reminder of just being grateful. Just be grateful for so many things that we are offered in life. And I'll tell you, not one of these women that I met, they had very, very little, and yet they were incredibly grateful, and they felt rich in their blessings. And what a lesson that is for all of us to learn,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It
Yes.
is.
So,
Beautiful.
when you can come across these things from other areas of, whether it's our country or outside in the world, it's just so important that we support the makers out
Yes,
there.
It is.
All right, Cheri, you
Okay,
have
I've got one. I've got a little guessing game.
Okay.
Because I wanted you guys to think, I wanted to show you one and guess where this fabric's from. Okay. So let's take a guess.
Oh,
Oh, this one's easy. Come on, you guys.
well,
Let's say some guesses. And this
Bali.
is
I'm going to say Hawaii.
yes,
Hawaii?
Hawaii. And
Okay.
I think that sometimes it's so recognizable, the things that we see for certain areas. And that's why I like this. So let's look at the next one. These are very different fabrics, and they have very different fills, very different drapes, but they are both from Hawaii, and I think they're both recognizable as that.
Definitely.
And so I think that that's an interesting thing as you travel, to not only be looking for like the makers, but to be looking for maybe some of those textiles that are significant to the area. So this next picture is when I was in Hawaii. I did not buy a quilt, but these are ornaments that are quilt patterns from Hawaii.
wow.
Oh, I love that.
And so they're very
And
symmetrical.
they applique those.
Yes,
it's
they hand
amazing.
applique and turn those. And so, but these are just ornaments. And I love that if you look at that middle one, those are pineapples. And so it's
that's right.
it's very
Yes.
regional to their area. And I think the one on the right is supposed to be some coconuts in there. And so I think sometimes when you're looking at stuff as you travel, you can find those things that symbolize the textiles of that area.
Yes, they're
so
very
that's-
symbolic of the
yes.
areas, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I love that. Wow, we would love to know if you've been in other parts of the world. What are some of the photographs that you have that maybe, show the textiles, the mixed mediums, whether it be a quilt, whether it be clothing? If you have something you'd like to share with us, please do so. And you can share it in our community Facebook page, which is Friends of My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop.
And
I'd
how
love to
does
see.
that feel like home to you? I mean, what spoke to you about that made you either pick that up or photograph that? Because something has to speak to you and has to make you think, you know what, I want to incorporate that in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only as something that just reminds you of your time there and your stay, but just for the love of the people in the country that you visit as well.
Yeah.
That's really incredible. Nanette says that she bought a burqa when she was in Afghanistan.
Oh.
The workmanship was gorgeous. It was beaded and painted. Truly an amazing treasure. Was able to order from a wonderful local seamstress. I think that is wonderful, Nanette.
I think so too, and I know she was
Yeah.
serving our country over there.
Yes,
so
she was, even
it
more
gave,
so.
It gave gave home a whole new meaning. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely fantastic.
I love that. Well, what are we going to be talking about tomorrow, guys?
Oh, you just wait. Kris, you bring your
I
creative
know.
spirit, because I have a technique that is so fun.
Yeah.
But you've got to get creative with me. So
Ooh.
you have to tune in tomorrow
I'm
to
here
see
for
that.
it.
You're here for it.
I am
Okay.
here for it. I cannot wait. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. We enjoyed so much being able to, be reunited again. Reunited, and it feels so good. Am I going to be the only one singing this? Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. Whatever.
I was going to try and get my phone out, but they won't let me have it on set.
All right,
It's going
everyone.
to give you a rock show there.
I like that. Yeah, why not? All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep doing all the things you love, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.